Lesson 50 is unit multipliers in unit conversions. Unit multiplier and unit conversions, okay? Now, what's going to happen here is we are going to use unit multipliers to do unit conversions, okay? Now, I guess the first thing we got to look at, let's review real quick, 24 out of 36. So let's pretend that I have this fraction, 24 out of 36. Last night, one of the problems you had to do is you had to factor 24, factor 36. It was different numbers. And then you had to cancel them. Remember that? So if we factor 24, we're going to do that in your head real quick. 2 times 12. 2 times 6. 2 times 3. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. Times 3 is 24. That's good. 36 is 6 times 6, right? And each 6 is 2 times 3. So this becomes 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. Now what can cancel? And why? First what?
2 into 2. Oh, and then the next 2 into 2. And then the 3 into 3.
And why? Okay, but why? But why can we cancel them? What's 2 over 2 equal to? 1. That's why it's gone. So this is actually a 1 and 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 a 1. We can cancel them because they equal 1. You got it written down? If it's on the board, it's on your paper. If we can cancel them, it's written down. So we have the 2 over 2, which is the 1. We have the 3 over 3, which is the 1. And then we have a 2 over 3 left. That becomes my answer. Because everything else became 1, and that 1 can cancel. Okay? Does that part make sense? So now, five feet over 1 times 12 inches over 1 foot. If I wanted to multiply these numbers, we multiply the top. 5 times feet times 12 times inches over 1 times feet. Is there anything that can cancel? Yeah, this feet and this feet can both cancel. Bam, bam, 1, 1. Now what I'm left with is 5 times 12 is 60 inches. Does that make sense? So now as we look at this piece right here, what would 12 feet over, or 12 inches over 1 feet be equal to? 1. Why?
Because 12 inches is 1 feet.
They're both 1 foot. And 1 foot over 1 foot, or 12 inches over 12 inches equals 1. The label doesn't matter anymore. This is equal to 1. Which property says we can multiply by 1? Very good. The identity property. Identity property of multiplication says that you can multiply by 1. And get the same thing. So we know that 1 looks something like that. But we also know that 1 might look like 2 over 2, or 3 over 3, or 17 over 17. Do you agree with that? But then as Caden shared with us, 12 inches over 1 foot is also 1. Can somebody give me another one with labels that would be equal to 1? Perfect. 60 seconds over 1 minute. Anybody else?
24 hours in a day.
24 hours a day. All of those are equal to 1, and we could come up with a bunch of them. 4 quarts in a gallon, right? 8 ounces in a cup. 16 ounces in a pound, right? All of these are unit mol. Now these right here, these become unit multipliers. Unit multipliers. This word unit multiplier is a ratio of 2 measures that is equal to 1. So let's look at how this is going to work for doing our conversions, okay? We know what unit multipliers are now. How do we convert, okay? So I'm going to write down that question. How do we convert? This is doing our conversion, okay? So I'm going to draw, there's a box here, and this is my original measure. Times another box. And this box here would be my unit multiplier. In other words, this one here, I'm going to put underneath here, is a form of 1 relating the given to desired. In other words, relating the original to the new one, the converted measure. And then we get equals, our new box. Our new, whoops, blue, our new or converted measurement. So far, so good? All right, now, every unit multiplier has 2 forms that it can be. Okay? Every unit multiplier has 2 forms that it could be. For example, if I have 3 yards is equal to 1 foot, then we have 2 unit multipliers we could make. We could make 3 yards over 1 foot, or 1 foot over 3 yards. And it makes a difference which one we use. So if I said a while ago 16 ounces equals 1 pound, what are my 2 unit multipliers I can make out of that? Write them down and stand when you got them. What'd you come up with? Are you not confident about your answer? It's not hard. If this is 16 ounces over 1 pound, or what? The reciprocal. Were you guys wondering? It took a long time. It's not hard. Everybody okay there? Okay, so now that you feel a little more confident, I want you to do one more for me just to show me that we got 1 mile equals 5,280 feet. What are my 2-unit multipliers? This time, don't take 10 minutes. 1 mile over 5,280 feet, or 5,280 feet over 1 mile. We all understand that, right? Perfect. Have a seat. So how does this work? How can we use this information to do what we need to do? Let me show you. Let's start with this. Let's start with the simple one, okay? I've got 82 yards. And I want to change that 82 yards into feet. Now, right now, in your head, you should be going 82 times 3, right? But let's look at the y. And that's what we're going to start doing. Because, guys, right now, we're going to start off with easy ones. These are going to get harder and harder and harder. If you know the pattern you got today, you're going to be okay. So, number one, this is what I'm original. This is my original. Okay? Now, the two conversions. What are my 2-unit multipliers that I need to use to go from yards to feet? Well, it's either 3 feet over 1 yard or 1 yard over 3 feet. It seems an unnecessary step, but this will save you points in the long run. 3 feet over 1 yard or 1 yard over 3 feet. Now, we multiply. So the next step, multiply. We have to pick one of these that we're going to use. Now, if I have the original as 82 yards over 1 times, which one of these will help me cancel the yards? Yeah, 3 feet over 1 yard. Because the yards and the yards cancel. All I'm left with is 82 times 3. 3 times 2 is 6. Whoops. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 8, 24. 246 feet. That's how we do a conversion. That's all there is to it. Does that make sense? Okay, now, what if I had the fact that somebody ran 9 yards in a second? 9 yards in 1 second. And I want to change that into feet per second. There's my original problem. I write down what I want to convert. Now, I write down what my unit multipliers are going to be. What are going to be my conversion factors? Do I want to change my time or do I want to change my measurement? Measurement. So what's my relationship between yards and feet? Nice job. 3 feet over 1 yard, or a yard over 3 feet. And then I take my original. 9 yards per second times, which one will help me cancel? And then I cancel my yard. I cancel my yard. 9 times 3 is 27 feet per second. Does that make sense to you? Okay, so as I look at this, let's explore now. Open up your book, page 355. On page 355, you'll see the practice. What I want you to do is I want you to do A, B, C for me first. A says I have 1 yard is equal to 36 inches. What are my two conversion factors? Write the original, write your two factors, do that for A, B, and C. So I'm going to share the answers real quick, write 2 unit multipliers. If I have 1 yard equals 36 inches, they're not asking me to change anything. They just want the unit multipliers. So 1 yard over 36 inches or 36 inches over 1 yard. Those would be my 2 answers. This one, 100 centimeters over 1 meter. Oops. And 1 meter over 100 centimeters. Those are my 2 unit multipliers. So this one here, 16 ounces over 1 pound, or 1 pound over 16 ounces. Because the top and the bottom are the same. 5 over 5 is 1. 7 over 7 is 1. 16 ounces over 1 pound is 1. Make sense? Were you guys trying to convert it or something? Follow the directions. Have a seat. So hopefully that makes more sense. So now let's look at B. B is what you were trying to do earlier. I'm sorry, D as in dog. Convert 10 yards to inches. So when I look at D, they want me to take 10 yards and change that into inches. In my previous problem, they told me what the relationship was. 36 inches over 1 yard or 1 yard over 36 inches. Which one am I going to multiply by? Why 36 inches over 1 yard, Juliana? Instead of 1 yard over 36 inches? Because I need to cancel, yeah. If I did it the other way around, I would get 10 yards squared over 36 inches. That's not helpful. Yard cancels. 360 inches. Get your blue pen. I want to show you the same problem a different way. 10 yards into inches. I know that 3 feet equals 1 yard. And I know that 1 foot equals 12 inches. So what we have here is we have another option. 3 feet over 1 yard over 3 feet. We got 1 foot over 12 inches, and we got 12 inches over 1 foot. If I start with my 10 yards over 1 times, I can multiply by as many conversion factors as I need to. So in this one right here, to cancel the yards, I'm going to use this one. 3 feet over 1 yard times. Now to cancel the feet, I'm going to do 12 inches over 1 foot. And looking at what happens, yard cancels with yard, foot cancels with foot. 3 times 12 is 36. There it is, 360 inches. You won't have any doubles yet. Okay? You won't have any doubles yet. But I'm going to give you one more challenge double in a little bit. Let's look at E. 24 feet is how many yards? So first thing we do is we write down what we're converting. 24 feet into yards. What are my 2 unit multipliers that I have to choose from?
24 feet, or sorry.
How many feet are in a yard?
36.
That's inches.
20. Oh, 3.
Yeah. So those would be my 2. 3 feet over 1 yard. Or 1 yard over 3 feet. Once I've identified my unit multipliers, 24 feet over 1 times 1 yard over 3 feet. Feet and feet cancel. Does 3 cancel with 8? How many times? Oh, I'm sorry. Whoops. Yes, it does. 3 does not cancel with 8, but 3 cancels with 24. It gives me 8. So my answer is 8 yards. 8 yards. Which is greater, 20 inches or 20 centimeters? So we are comparing 20 inches to 50 centimeters. So what we have to do is we have to convert one of them. Do you want to change inches to centimeters or centimeters to inches? It's easier to go the other way. Can I cheat? Maybe I only know it's easier because I know the math that I have to do. Let's go the other way. I'm going to change inches. 20 inches into centimeters. We're actually going to do them both. Maybe we'll do them both. And then we're going to change 50 centimeters into inches. We're doing both. All right. What does the book say is my relationship between inches and centimeters? 2.5 centimeters over 1 inch, or 1 inch over 2.54 centimeters. So as I look at this one right here, 20 inches over 1 times 2.54 centimeters over 1 inch. Inches and inches cancel. 20 times 2.54. We're going to move the decimal one place, and then we're going to double the number. Double 254 becomes 508. So this is 50.8. So which one's bigger? 20 inches or 50 centimeters? Because it's 8/10 of a centimeter bigger. 8 millimeters, but it's still bigger, right? So we can put that here. If I did it on this side, I'd have 50 centimeters over 1 times 1 inch over 2.54 centimeters. Centimeter cancels. Then I have to do that division. 50 divided by 254. I don't really want to do that. All right? Because what we have here is we have 50 inches divided by 2.54. To save us time, I'll tell you what it is. Probably could have done it by now. 50 divided by 2 and 54 hundredths. 19.68503937. Aren't you glad we didn't do a division that way? But if you look at what it is, it's less than 20. So it still confirms which way it is. Make sense? Excellent. So, it gives us only 2 more problems. We're going to save those 2 problems for tomorrow. Okay? We're going to save those 2 problems for tomorrow. However, before we do our work, yesterday we did mixed measures, additions, and subtractions. I'm going to put 2 problems on the board. I want you to do them for me, okay? Let's go with the first one. 2 gallons, 3 quarts, and 2 pints, plus 5 gallons, 7 quarts, and 3 pints. I want you to add and put it in the best form possible. Now, what do you need to know to be able to do this? Just to make sure that we know, what do we need to know? Very good. There are 2 pints in a quart, and there are 4 quarts in a gallon. There are 2 pints in a quart, and there are 4 quarts in a gallon. Go. There's your subtraction problem. 5 days, 8 hours, 27 minutes minus 2 days, 8 hours, 52 minutes. All right. Adding, first thing I'm going to do is just add. 5 pints, 10 quarts, 7 gallons. Now over here, pints. If I'm going to take away 4 pints, how many quarts is that equal to? 2. So now I get 1 pint, 12 quarts, 7 gallons. Every time I take away 4 quarts, it's a gallon. How many 4s can I take away? So I'm going to take away 12 quarts, and I'm going to add 3 gallons. So we get 10 gallons, 1 pint. What'd you have? Juliana? So you left the 12 quarts.
Yeah.
4 quarts in again. Make sense? All right. Seriously. I have to get that. Hold on. Hello? Yes? Well, how late are you open? Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Bye. Can I do that subtraction? I borrow from the 8 hours. 8 hours, 1 hour is 60 minutes. So if I have 27, it becomes 87. That's 5, that's 3, 35 minutes. 7 hours minus 8 can't be done, so I borrow from here. 24 plus 7 is? 31. 31 minus 8 is? Nice job, Kaden. 2 days, 23 hours, 35 minutes. Any questions?